it's a limited talk series. It's once a month. We're hoping to be able to do 6 months. And then take it from there. Titingnan natin kung saan pumunta.
Ito po bang show na to, is it going to be a regular thing or parang special project?
How do you call that, Cecil? It's a limited talk series. It's once a month. Hopefully, the first batch we're hoping to be able to do 6 months, and then take it from there. Titingnan natin kung saan pumunta.
For shows like this one, how do you change your approach? Your show like Pasto?
Very physical ang umpisa. Naka-chinelas ako, naka-relaxed. Hindi ako masyadong, I'm deliberately and decidedly not so weird. I'm very homey. And ito yung, I think, mas relaxed. At saka, mas free ang flow ng conversation. Pero hindi nawawala kasi, like, ang titulo kasi, ang pamagat ng special is My Mother, My Story. I have a friend who said, what exactly does that mean? You're talking about 2 stories. Pero ang narrator mo ang anak. It's a story of the mother through the lens of the child. And the story of the child. And there is that intersection in the middle. And almost always that is bound by love, respect. Yun yung narrative arc. Doon ka huhugot. Now, how is it going to be? So it's not an interview, ala na parang this is going to be an investigative interview. It's trying to get to know more the person, the celebrity, sa pamamaraan kung paano ang kanyang relasyon, paano siya pinalaki, or paano niya pinalaki ang kanyang magulang, kanyang nanay. Yun yung, it's a lot more gentle, I think, this interview. It's more relaxed, but very emotional.
Kuya namin yung projects that was inspired by your relationship, your love, your music, for this year.
Oh yes. This started with me. This is my concept. Na ibinenta ng ating mga kasamahan. My Fans Talk family is behind this. My director, Sir Cecil, lahat ito. Henry, Sir Rayleigh, we're the same family working on this project. Yeah, this is very personal. This is very personal. And since this is very personal, again, I'd like to address na I am not diminishing the contribution of a father in raising a child. Kaya, parating sinasabi that everyone, a father has a mother has a mother, you have a mother, I have a mother. It's probably just a handle dahil maaga na mayapa ang aking ama. And I had a very strong relationship with my mother. On the way here nga, I got a copy of my dissertation, my doctoral dissertation. Kasi nire-review ko na. Sabi ko, ano kaya ang pinanggalingan ko? Ano kaya ang pinanggalingan ko dito sa My Mother, My Story? Ang daming insights na naroon na hindi ko ito binasa bago namin i-conceptualize yung special. So, my dissertation was on transformative leadership using maternal love as a tool. So, habang pinabasa ko, I was just browsing through it. Sabi ko, ito yung application ng pagmamahal na yun. But what's interesting about this, I'm surprised kasi gusto ko yung quality. I like the quality of while we are I hope we're able to achieve that with others. Kasi iba-iba ang treatment kung sino ang guest. Pero I like Vilma reacting to what Luis would say. It's refreshing. I'm surprised. Maganda siya. Lalo na pag nalinis pa yun. To go back to your question, yes, it's very personal. It's emanating from my core persona, which is one that is devoted to his mother in life and in death.
With fans talk in your previous talk shows, parang the audience already know what to expect. Now with My Mother, My Story, how do you wish the audience to see this talk show?
I want sana people to remember that loving in any generation should be holistic, hindi lang text, hindi lang voicemail. Maganda magmahal na nahahawakan mo ang tatay, ang nanay. Maganda magmahal na naisasama niyo ang nanay sa Tagaytay. Isasama niyo ang nanay sa kanto para bumili ng squid balls. Yun ang gusto kong dating na parang through the stories of these celebrities, kung may mga bagay na hindi mababago, yun yung pagmamahal and the expression of that love. Palagay ko hindi pwedeng i-text yung pagmamahal. Palagay ko hindi pwedeng I'm not averse to technology, pero life and loving, lalo na sa mga magulang, should not begin and end with technology.
Yung, alam mo yung napapansin ko lang sa ibang mga nag-i-interview, parang gumaganda yung mga story nila because yung mga subjects nila, interesting. Pero ikaw, kahit hindi interesting sa amin o sa ibang tao, parang nagiging interesting yung subject mo. May formula ba yun?
As an interviewer, stay true to your story. Magandang umpisa ng interview. Pero hindi naman yung, don't get me wrong na, ito ako. Pero, nandoon sa tanong, nandoon sa daloy ng pag-uusap, nandoon sa, I'm very intentional, Eugene. I'm very intentional. Go to your core. Go to your core. And what is your core? Is your story. Our stories you're familiar with. Our books you've read. Our experiences you've had when you were in elementary. So, pag dumikit ka dun sa katotohanan mo, chances are, makaka-relate ang nakikinig sa'yo.
So, kahit sino naman?
Kahit sino. Kahit sino. Halimbawa, I did an interview with, one of the toughest interviews I've done was when I was asked to do an interview with an atheist. Yung hindi naniniwala sa Diyos. Tough. Diba? Parang, paano mo gagawin ito? How do you talk to someone who does not believe in God?
So it's different from agnostic.
Different from agnostic. Ang agnostic, hindi tayo experts, pero parang ang agnostic acknowledges a presence. Tama ba? Diba? It acknowledges a presence. Atheism simply says that there is none. Diba? So when I was asked if I could do an interview with an atheist, yun ang tanong ko, paano ba ito? Anong klaseng tao ba ang hindi naniniwala sa Diyos? Dahil buong buhay mo, masakit lang ang batok mo, masakit lang ang kamay mo, nagdadasal ka na eh. You know, it's all about faith and generational pa naman yung religion, yung paniniwala, mga practices. Wonderful, wonderful experience. So, I prepared for it, nag-research ako kung anong atheism, maraming klase pala yun. Maraming klase pala yung atheism. Sabi ko, I should just go to the story. I stuck to my core. How do you stick to your core in an interview with somebody who doesn't believe in God? Halimbawa, yung tanong, naniniwala ako sa Diyos. Bakit hindi ka naniniwala sa Diyos? Diba? It's a gut question. Na parang lahat ng pasasalamat, lahat ng tanong, lahat ng saklolo, hinihingi ko sa Diyos ko. kanino ka humihingi ng tulong? That's sticking to your core. Hindi ka lumalayo. At kung naniniwala ako sa Diyos, ano ang tingin mo sa akin? Lalawak yung pag-uusap. Anong tingin mo sa akin? Kasi kanina nahirapan ako, bring your audience to that experience. Hindi ko alam kung saan pupunta ang pag-uusap natin. Dahil first time ko ito kumausap ng tao na hindi naniniwala sa Diyos. Ano ang tingin mo sa akin na naniniwala sa Diyos? I remember, one of my last questions at that interview, sabi ko, my God's name is Jesus Christ. Do you have a name that you believe in? Do you have a name that you go to when you are in situations like what I go through? Nakalimutan ko na ang sagot. Pero, ikaw discovery ko, Jim, in that interview. Sa haba ng pag-uusap namin, ang buti-buti ng tao. He wanted a peaceful world. He wanted people to be kinder. As a matter of fact, ang basa ko sa kanya, he was a beautiful, wonderful person. So, ang take-away ko doon, at sinabi ko to sa staff ko, yung interviewing staff ko, kung itong tao na hindi naniniwala sa Diyos, napakabuting tao, ano pa kaya tayo? I remember that interview.